up, everybody? I am Diana Lovejoy, and this is So Into You. To all of my subscribers, I want to say thank you. What's up? How you doing? And to all of my new viewers, I would like to welcome you and say thank you to you as well. Now, as usual, I am so excited, so let's get into it, y'all. Okay, so if you have been following me, you probably have noticed that I have spent a great deal of time talking about how other people's words, intentions, and actions, how they can affect us. And, everything I talk about is coming from a very real place. Like, I'm not telling you about something that I read or something that I heard, but I am sharing experiences with you that I have survived and lived through, okay? With that being said, there came a time when I had to do some self-evaluating. I had to examine my own heart, and I had to begin to, acknowledge, my issues and, the inner conflicts that I was having within myself. It is very easy to point out what's wrong with other people. And sometimes it's very easy to point out other people's flaws. And I think sometimes we can find that easy because as long as we just keep pointing out what's wrong with everybody else, then we don't have to deal with, how jacked up we are, or the issues that we have. But like I said, there comes a time when you have to do some self-evaluating and say, you know what, why do I keep being, going in these circles and keep being brought back to these certain set of circumstances in my life? I will never forget. I was in prayer one day. I was talking to God, right? I talk to him like he's my best friend. And because he is my best friend. And, I'm being honest, y'all. I was telling him about somebody that I absolutely could not stand at the time. And I was running down this whole list. And I was like, God, she's this and she's that and she's this and she's that. And when I got done, let me tell y'all what he said. He was like, everything that you just said about her, that's what you are. Y'all, I know they say the truth will set you free, but the truth will hurt your feelings, okay? So I was appreciative for him telling me what he said, because it was, even though it hurt my feelings, but it was a very sobering moment for me. It was a very sobering moment for me. And it caused me to have to take a deeper look within, and find out what was really going on with me. Because I'm like, okay, Lord, if that's how I act, I got to change. I don't want to be that way. I don't want to have those characteristics. And so I'm like, okay, now that I've acknowledged that, I'm jacked up in some ways. Okay, it's not everybody else all the time. I'm jacked up and I got my own issues. Okay, I acknowledge that. So now what do I need to do to change? So I began to become strategic about it. And I began to write a list out. And I'm like, okay, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my reoccurring issues? What is this thing that I keep running to, this issue that I keep running into over and over again? Like, what test am I not passing? I began to look at what I allowed in my eye gates and my ear gates. What am I watching? What am I listening to? What am I feeding my spirit? I began to even look at things like my diet, because I came to understand that food does not just affect you physically, but it affects how you feel, and it could also affect you mentally and emotionally, and affect your mood. So I started changing my diet, and I started increasing my water intake, and I started incorporating plant-based foods. And I ain't never going vegan, but I was willing to start eating food that was good for my body. I started to even manage how much time I was spending on social media, because I'm gonna tell y'all what happened one time to me. There was a season in my life, I'm not in a season right now, but there was a season in my life when I could not go on vacation, right? But every time I logged onto Facebook, it looked like every 5 minutes somebody was going on vacation, like on some exotic trip, like just having so much fun, and I could not go. Now, I had to pull myself off of Facebook. Like, listen, I wasn't hating on nobody. I just wanted to go on vacation, and I knew that I could not go. So I got off Facebook because that's not something that I needed to be watching. Listen, it has been scientifically proven that if you spend too much time on social media, it can have you depressed. So listen, whatever it is that you need to do to move towards your healing, or to make you feel better, or to fix your issues, you know, whatever extreme you need to take, I would suggest you take that. A lot of who we are and, you know, what we have become, and a lot of what has shaped our ideas and, you know, how we see ourselves and how we move in this world has a lot to do with, you know, our upbringing and, you know, things that happened to us in our childhood, you know. And for some of us, you know, some of the things that happened in our childhood were simply not our fault. And even though it was not our fault, it is our responsibility to now use those things that happen as, you know, those lessons as a stepping stone, and not for excuses. I am a living witness that you can rise above your issues, you can rise above your circumstances, you can rise above your pain, you can rise above your past. Do the work, acknowledge what's going on, do the work, and start to live a more fulfilling, blessed, and flourishing life. The same time and energy that we use to like point at other people and tell them what's wrong with them and how they need to change, because we feel like, okay, if he just changed, it'll be good. If she just changed, it'll be good. If they change, it'll be good. No, it is not always the inner me, but it is the inner me that needs changing. I am Diana Lovejoy. This is Sowing to You. If you like this video, hit like, please subscribe to my channel, and leave me some comments. I love feedback. This is Sowing to You. Don't forget to sow into you, and I'll see you next week. Peace.